Welcome back after 2 months or something like that. We're finally returning. I have no words except, man, I have missed you all. Sorry, I'm gonna quick make sure that my mic's working. Unfortunately, internet hates cooperating with me here ever. So we're gonna quick make sure that the mic's working, and then we'll get out the pregame. Obviously, the Gents haven't hit the ice yet. We'll get on the pregame. Oh, yeah. Okay, the mic's working. We're good. I just need to confirm that one. Last time they were in action, 11:25, I want to say. It's been way too long for this. It's been way too long. Last time they were in action, though, Logan Buki had the previous day of 2 goals, but let's talk about John Bellantoni ripping from the blue line there. Hopefully we can see some more of that. So, of course, today our matchup is the Lafayette Leopards. I put links in there, and I feel so terrible, but eventually all the teams just blend together for me. Versus the Alvernia Golden Wolves. Alvernia looking to get back on the win track here after getting swept in the East Coast Showdown. They're 6-7-0 in the DVCHC American with 12 points. That puts them in first place. And believe it or not, they're only 2-1-0 at home. They have not been at home at all. So that puts them 4-6 on the road. Team leaders, Logan Buki with 11 goals. Ben Maurer with 13 assists. And Buki with his 20 points. I think that now stands, though, at 22, because I think he has an 11-11. Yeah, it's an 11-11. Excuse me, 22. What am I saying? On the other side, the Lafayette Leopards, only one game to their name. They played the Bloomsburg Huskies, and it was less than desirable for them. A final score of 7-6. Bloomsburg just barely coming out on top, and a very small roster for this Leopards group. 8 forwards, 4 defensemen, 2 goalies on the roster, and it looks like there's less than that here today. They're 5th in the DVCHC American, 0-0-0 at home, 0-1-0 on the road. If we're looking just at their stats leaders, defenseman number 20, DeTulio, and forward Duffy with 2 goals. Jeffries and Hickey on the second forward line with 2 assists to tie, and DeTulio leads with 3 points. As we see the Jets prepare to come out of the ice, the debut for Auburn, the Alvernia pickup on the, guess we'll call it exchange window there. Able to join the club in 49, the original number of Ben Maurer last year, if anyone can remember that one, before moving over to 21. And you'll see the reduced roster on the other side for the Lafayette Leopards. We mentioned DeTulio on the blue line. He is a threat, and they got to lock down DeTulio. DeTulio can go into the inside, and he's not afraid to do that at all. Breaking down the numbers here, Alvernia scores 5.23 goals a game. That's not bad at all. On the other side, though, 6 goals per game for the Lafayette Leopards. They allow 7 against per game. Not beautiful at all. 4.5 goals allowed per game for the Golden Wolves. 13 penalty minutes. I don't have the penalty numbers on Lafayette. Stats weren't kept that game, so I had to rewatch the footage, and I couldn't even keep up. Shout out to TJ Productions, though, at Bloomsburg for giving me a nice view of all of that, so I can even put this together. And, of course, as we mentioned before, power plays. This Lafayette team averaging 2 power play goals a game after their first one here for the Golden Wolves. Gazing ahead, the Golden Wolves have the Gettysburg Bullets on Friday. Get ready for that game. I will be here doing that one I think it is away, if I'm not mistaken. And then we're back here against the Golden Bears. We always talk about stargazing, and we're looking at the milestone leaders of Alvernia. They're always so amazing. And you see them all. And I always want to include all these guys on here because every single one of them has a milestone every game, I swear. But We'll only do one line at a time. So, Logan Buki, 1 point from the career-leading 140-point, record-setting DBCHC. My lord. Mullen's 1 goal shy of 5 in the rookie year. We know Mullen can go down ice and put one right past the goaltender. He goes on a nice breakaway every now and then. Andrew Denny, who I don't believe is in the game here today. I'm trying to look out for his number. But before we ended, going into tournament time, Andrew Denny had 2 goals against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. I was hoping maybe he could get his third here today if he was playing. Evan Conabier, 1 assist shy of 5 in the rookie year. We're still waiting on that goal, but we'll take the 5 assists if he can get them. Phil Juswick, 1 goal shy of 10 in his career, and I'd love to see the senior get it here. Person Lopez, we know he's 1 career win from 10. I believe, of course, he'll be the off-day man here today as Let's Go and McDowell dress for the Golden Wolves, so he'll have to wait on that one. Let's Go is looking, I believe, for his 7th win, though. So if they start Let's Go, he'll definitely be looking out for that one. And Duncan McDowell just looking to continue his great sophomore season, getting more and more action and proving himself a reliable goaltender. Especially holding up in that game against St. John's. Fisher, I know we all saw that clip of the highlight reel third period save that kept the game 3-2 and gave them a chance. As we mentioned before, though, I'd like to just shout out and say good evening to everyone, as on this frigid January night, 2 Predators clash in a long-awaited matinee with their division hanging in the balance. The Lafayette Leopards hunting for their first win in a hostile territory. They try to topple the Golden Wolves, who are returning after a 2-month hiatus here and coming off of a 3 consecutive loss against 3 hard opponents at the DBCHC's East Coast Showdown. The Wolves were last seen, as mentioned, in the East Coast Showdown against the Nationals rematch with the St. John Fisher Cardinals. That ended in a narrow 3-2 loss with John Bellantoni ripping 2 great ones from the blue line. Hopefully we see more of that from him tonight. Highlighted once again by his 2 blistering shots. The defender, John Bellantoni, expected to always be a contributor, and he is a point-per-game defenseman, the only point-per-game defenseman for this Golden Wolves unit. Tonight, the Golden Wolves will look to shake off the rust of 2 months, bury the memory of their defeat, and strike back against the Leopards to tie a record at 7-7 and go 3-0-0 in the division. As mentioned before, we have our coaching staff down there, highlighted by Coach Joe Borelli, Steven Stowers, Tony Borelli, and of course, equipment manager Mike Henkel to round them off. The live for your Lafayette Leopards. If you are watching from Lafayette on this broadcast, we do thank you. If not, it's all right. The lives are Clark Duffy and Lightbody, who are 16, 28, and 24. Jeffrey Savage and Hickey are the second forward line at 18, 27, and 8. Extra forward number 9, Noble, will be playing. And then the defensemen are Plant and Powell at 11 and 4. Goldstein and DeTulio at 2 and 20. Watch out for DeTulio. He can rip from the blue line just like Bellantoni. He does it just as well. We assume Jack Herring will start today as he started against the Bloomsburg Huskies. And a potential run of a forward for Christian Valente, 29, who is the backup normally. It does look like, though, there's less than the maximum roster here today. With just under 4 minutes left in the warm-ups, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to this broadcast between the Lafayette Leopards and the Alvernia Golden Wolves, as we finally are back after 2 months here, and I'm really excited. So thank you again, and congratulations on Tim O'Byrne on his debut. We saw him skate out here earlier. Where we join you when we approach game time. Fitz, I'd expect you in the chat. Just want to see who's been in the chat, anyways. All right, see, I got Danny in the chat as well. So I think that clears up my confusion. Danny made the stargazing list without being here. That's actually incredible. But yeah, with just 3 minutes left to go, we'll rejoin you when all of that comes around.
Show me when you go live so I can set right now.
Lesko gets the nod, and net today. It's his first action since November. Obviously, this guy's first action since November, but Lesko among the goalies, I think, waiting the longest here. Obviously, the most recently warmed up would have been Duncan McDowell, who had to face the onslaught of St. John's Fisher and did so expertly. Comes Torrey, Judwick, Wilson, and Waldron. And we're off to the races here. It's Keith Waldron. Taking that block, you see Carpenter crossing over to Torrey. Torrey rips it towards the save. Second chance, almost there. Just taken away by the Leopards. And back they go. Chipped along the boards, and offsides the call. They'll bring it to the outside. You saw Clark there on the offsides. They bring him back center. They'll do this face-off again here. Alvernia once again taking it, just dumping it into the back of the offensive zone and content to try to fight for it again. I mean, they did such a good job the first time. As you see Wilson carrying that puck. Stick handling in center ice for him. Flips it on to the back area of the offensive zone for the Golden Wolves, repossessed by the Leopards. You see Judwick crossing over to Wilson. Wilson stretch pass along, almost got it inside the zone, but the Leopards intercept. Nice stop there. Torrey gets cooked up high and out, and he's not happy with that one. Judwick rips it towards the cage. Torrey, unsuspecting, could have had a backdoor there. Buki's out on the line. Buki chips it back in, trying to keep it in. It goes out. And Wilson skates it back with Judwick. Wilson again. Out comes Reese Wilson. Or excuse me, Peoples now. Did they get the full line? People in my set. Buki in possession. Early goal there. John Valentini. We said he's going to get back there. He went right for the blue line there. Awesome by him. I just got word that's apparently from my volume. We'll disconnect for me. John Valentini, the early goal for the Golden Wolves. I see Clay come to center. Face off won by Peoples. Out come the Golden Wolves crossing over. There's Maurer. Ben Maurer crossing over, trying to chip it towards the cage. No dice. Peoples
Keeps it in. Vitulio, the defenseman, who has 2 goals there for the Lynx. I hear apparently my audio is cracky, which doesn't exactly shock me. I might reposition my mic. Back towards the cage and save. Might just be the internet here, folks. As that faceoff's won by the Leopards. They're going to try to clear out of the zone, unable to do so at this moment. Alright, let's see if this is better. Just keep on telling me if the audio's cracky and stuff. As Bellantoni goes back to fetch it. Sends it along the boards. O'Byrne, the new man on ice for the Golden Wolves there. A halfway season pickup during a break, and now it's going to get called in. Most definitely. Most definitely they're going to call that one. That was blatant. So this is the same. Okay. Alright. Hard break for the Golden Wolves here. Wolves down there. Joswick takes a shot. Saved right there. From Heron. With 1:48 left on the power play, you see Phil Joswick. Puck to Spraccio. Spraccio around the boards. Chip back Spraccio over to Joswick. Joswick crossing over. Joswick was able to find Pilpul. Unable to get it towards the net was Pilpul. He tried for one more cross. Spraccio shot towards the cage. It's loose on foot. Lafayette's going to try to clear. Joswick keeps it in. Inside to Pilpul over to Spraccio. Spraccio drips it. And a little bit of a whip there. He made contact, just not in the right spot. Around the boards. Mullen over to Pilpul. Pilpul waits, takes a shot. Crosses over. Mullen's going to have to go and retrieve. And he'll be forced back. Intercepted through ice there and hanging the offensive zone. Lafayette did a good job on that. The intercept there coming from Savage. Out in flat net comes those Wicks Warriors. They're going to blow that one dead. We're going to run with this audio through the first period. If it's still crappy, I'll go back and rewatch it and kind of see what you guys are hearing. And if it was the case, on my end, I'll go over to just audio without the mic. From the blue line, the Golden Wolves trying to make something happen here. Hit by Maurer. Maurer off the shoulder pad there of Heron. Collected by Buki. Skating that blue line there. Chips it on inside. Out to Wilson. Shot towards the cage end. Forcing the Golden Wolves back.
All right, we should be back to regular sound now. Hopefully that's better. Buki through center ice and off sides. They're going to blow it dead. Just as the power play ended for the Golden Wolves. Yeah, we had to disconnect the mic, unfortunately. I can run them. Face-off won by the Golden Wolves. Blue Liners getting the job done of dumping it in. Intercepted quickly by Dom Garcia. 2-6 came together, though, and canceled that out. Would have been an amazing chance for him had he gotten a hold of it. Conabeer goes back through center. It's a 3-on-2, so Lafayette's just going to have to dump this one and run. Carpenter chips it on. Garcia, unable to get to it there, so they'll flip it to the back end of the zone, collected by Conabier. Conabier on stretch pass, finds his way over to Carpenter. It was back to Winter, and Winter clears it in, trying to find Conabier again. Conabier has to be the breakout man here and play blown dead. Winter around the boards, tries to find a man. It's a 2-on-2 battle along the boards. They're just going to keep getting it stuck there. And honestly, not a bad strategy there for the Leopards. The Golden Wolves need to jam this one out and get back in the offensive zone and score again. Holding the fragile 1-0 lead thanks to a marker for Bellantoni. Nice score from, looks like 24, I want to say that was. Lightbody, and Lightbody had one, I believe, in the Bloomsburg game, if I'm not mistaken. So not unexpected. Tallies from Lightbody and Bellantoni so far. Bellantoni with the first marker. Lightbody tying it up here with 14:22 to go. Claycomb at center, flanked by Maurer, Buki, and to their backs, Peoples and Bellantoni. We mentioned John Bellantoni already has one today, and it looks like they're, oh, never mind, that's just someone sitting in the box to open it up. I thought that was a player, and I'm like, what is going on? There's no time. Clear into the back end of the zone, chipped around. Intercepted by Buki. He's going to send it right back in, try to find a cream-colored jersey for the Golden Wolves. Hayden Peoples is going to have to skate in and get a hold of it. A rare puck possession from him where he goes deep. Normally he waits on the outside. Bellantoni on the cycle. Just going to clear that one on to Maurer. Maurer unable to get a hold of it. Goes off his stick. Cleared out. Recollected by Peoples to stop it. Buki back to start another breakout. He'll chip it to the other corner for Bellantoni. Bellantoni entering the center ice area, trying to go on offense. Nice stick interception there for Lafayette to stop the play. That one looking like it came from their own number 2. Chipped along the boards to neutral ice there. A nice high flip and odd bounce. They're going to get a high sticking. And they're going to clip a Golden Wolf for this one. They'll send Chris Claycomb to set. And now a power play opportunity for the Leopards to take a hold of the lead. Leopards 2 for 4, I believe, when they played Bloomsburg at about a 50% conversion rate this season. Face off, won there by Juswick. Wilson goes back to collect it. That's going to spring Torrey out. Torrey unable to get a clean possession of the puck. So we'll go back for the Leopards. Shot towards the cage. Nice save by Lesko. He swallows that whole. They fight for the puck, and it's finally in the Golden Wolves' possession. Unable to clear it, though, from the blue line. Trying to go over the corner. Nice save by Lesko. The hesitation and reflex come in handy. Chipped along the boards there. Waldron trying to chase through center. Lays off to, Fergus. What am I saying? Apparently, Lafayette has a couple of their numbers crossed. Here comes a breakaway. Natural move for Buki here. Oh, or sorry, excuse me, Fergus is doing this move this time. But Buki, that's normally his play. Well, I'm insinuating that. In case I confused anyone with the players there for a second. And Fergus trying to pull off a Buki there. Go down ice and put it past Heron. Puck finally jammed loose. Torrey trying to cross over to Peoples. And the Leopards will lay off a total pursuit here and allow the Golden Wolves to make their play. Flipped on through. That one's going to fall right down. Finds its way to O'Byrne. Byrne tries to stuff it. Heron gets the save, but O'Byrne threatening for the shorthander. Face-off upcoming, won by the Leopards. A crossover to defenseman DeTulio, intercepted though by O'Byrne. His folks and many of his family members in the audience today wanting to see his first game performance, as the Golden Wolves are going to get a clear here, and that should just do about the time. And yes, power play over there for the Leopards. Dangerous cut in for Lesko there, as that was right in his paint. O'Byrne turns on a dime and gets the puck loose. It's going to be cleared in neutral ice. To the corner it goes. Peoples to collect. Hayden Peoples. Chipped along. Ripped from the line. Nice block. That one coming from, I believe, Peoples there. It's going to spring O'Byrne. O'Byrne going back the other way, goes around a player, leaves the puck behind, rips towards the cage. Oh, and nearly Peoples able to get it in. Just missed the opportunity. Trying for another attempt here, gets blocked. That was a Buki bid. Goes back to Peoples, who keeps in and off a couple of kicks. Soccer style, shot towards the cage, wide it goes. That one finds its way back to Peoples somehow, trying to go inside for Maurer. Maurer unable to get to it. Flipped on through, and that one's going to land out of play here. No delay of game penalties in this contest will be handed out, unfortunately, because delay of game isn't a penalty, I guess, in regards to flipping the puck out of play. But the consolation prize for the Golden Wolves here will be another offensive zone possession from Claycomb. Claycomb unable to win it, though. Kept in, though. The Golden Wolves have been very good at that as Buki has possession. Trying to cut across. Rips it towards the cage. High and off the netting. Stoppage and a reset. Upcoming. Face-off won by the Golden Wolves. They collected by Maurer. Maurer gets it over. To the blue line it goes. Ripped towards the cage. Gets blocked. Buki able to go back and get it, though. Pandemonium round. It's going to skid along the blue of the boards. And the Golden Wolves are going to maintain possession. Maurer gets it across. The Golden Wolves need to work inside. A nice recollection there, just unable to convert. And it's going to be a clear there for the Leopards, who are unable to change as the Golden Wolves dump and run again. With the Golden Wolves puck possession being near perfect so far in this game, the Leopards have to play very conservatively here. DeTulio from behind the net tried to get it on front of Lesko. Play is stopped as it got somewhere. We lost sight of that puck there for a second. With 8:57 to go in the first period, face-off upcoming. Alvernia wins the faceoff from behind the net. They're trying to reel back the other way and go on offense. Shipped around the boards. That's going to spring a Buki loose there. He tries to center that out in front. Find Mullen. Mullen from behind the cage goes out to the blue line to Winter. Winter inside. He's got Conabeer to the other side. And on the inside there, he had Garcia waiting. From the outside, Mullen over to Winter. Winter towards the cage, trying to link up there with Buki, it looked like. And that puck's going to skid out of the zone. The Golden Wolves are going to have to dump and try to replay here. Garcia going in to try to get it. He'll peel back and allow Mullen to try for the bid. Nice by Juswick to clear it back in. And the Leopards have been unable to escape the neutral ice. A couple of offensive chances here, but the Golden Wolves have been very good at locking down the neutral ice and containing them into their own defensive area. Rip towards the cage. Nice save by Heron. Gets up. Aaron's not as fun as calling my usual group. As interesting to watch. Leo Johnson for me from Penn State Berks will always be one of my favorites to call. Just the amount of pressure he faces. And then, of course, obviously, Duncan McDowell, Jackson Lesko, and Carson Lopez. I absolutely love doing their calls. Ripped by Juswick, goes wide of the cage. He's trying for the rebound. O'Byrne's waiting on the other side. Pulls back for the hit. Instead, to take the puck. Hilpel to Juswick. Juswick crossing over. Sent on through. Hilpel's going to try to spring himself. Still possession for the Leopards. As Wilson pulls back. Hilpel repossesses the puck. Towards the cage he goes. Rips it. Oh! Deflection in! Brian Hilpel. Maryland native capitalizes to take the lead. Time of the goal, 13:06. And him and Bellantoni are on the board here today. And you had to think the Lynx had some the Leopards, had some positives going into the first intermission. Instead, with 6:54 left to go, down 2-1. Cut the music early here, but a face-off win for the Golden Wolves. Quickly possessed by the Lynx there, as Waldrop was unable to maintain control of the puck. Nice chip to Carpenter. Carpenter gets it along. This time it's Torrey looking for a goal, wearing 26. He gets stopped along the way. Torrey does have 3 goals this year, though. Ripped towards the cage, and no, unable to do so. Collected there, finds way to Torrey. Torrey rips one, high it goes, stays in play, so the Leopards will try to take it back. Through neutral ice, Bellantoni, one of the speedy guys out there. He's going to get that one over to Peoples. Peoples unable to get the read. So the Leopards will clear it into the Golden Wolves zone and kill some of this clock with 6:11 on the board. Lesko forced to make a save. Unfortunately, that'll put the defensive zone face-off for the Golden Wolves not where they want to be, but I think they've had so few minutes spent in their own zone that it's nothing to be too worried about. 6:10 to go. We mentioned that John Bellantoni got us started off, and then Pilpel at 13:06 into the period. That puck dangerously out in front. The Leopards unable to pick it up and put it behind Lesko. So back go the Wolves with numbers. It's Conabeer. Conabeer sending it in. Finds way to Maurer. Maurer around the boards and intercepted. Towards the cage, down on the puck. Lesko's gonna freeze that one up. Alvernia still down a man for another minute 20 here, second period. We lost you on stream and we'll probably continue to lose you just because of the nature of this place. I have found my HE double hockey stick 3.0. Alvernia with the puck. You see Lafayette now, though, trying to retake possession. Links that back up. Wilson's going to shift that one along. He got that from Juswick. It's still stuck in neutral ice. And you're seeing Lafayette maybe find their stride a little bit more in this game. One of the big Achilles heels so far has been these consistent penalties that the Golden Wolves have taken. Lafayette on track to be 0 for 3 right now, but still. And they look like a desperate team. They look like a desperate that they need to win. This is a Leopards team that last year, I think they were in the playoffs. Either way, it's just cleared out of the zone. Ripped around the boards. And finally knocked loose and out just as time expires on the power play for the Leopards. Line changes upcoming for the Golden Wolves. It's going to make a 2-on-2 the other way, 3-on-2. Rip towards the cage. Nice save by Lesko. I think he got blocked along the way, though. Shot again. Save again. Oh, my God. Lesko. Amazing. And the net coming to its moorings. Lesko, they got to give you a break. Face off, won by the Leopards. Trying to tie things up here early in the second period. Shot towards the cage and snagged by Lesko. Mauer's going to take control of the puck. Flips it on through. Finds Buki. Buki. Curl. And that's to neutral ice. In case you're wondering, the goals as of today, Bellantoni strikes first for the Golden Wolves, followed by Lightbody for the Leopards, followed by Pilpel for the Wolves, and that's why we stand 2-1. Claycomb leaves the puck for Peoples. They're about to get crossed up there. Around the boards, Clay goes forward. Peoples in wait. He's going to lift that one on through. Finds Bellantoni. Bellantoni over to Clay. Clay goes on in. Claycomb leaves it behind along the blue line for Bellantoni. Bellantoni already has one today. Looking for a second. He was going around a player, just nothing there. Take away the angle. Peoples sifts it on through, looking for a deflection from behind the net. Bellantoni bats it down. Sent on in. Try and knock it off the stick of the Leopard. That's going to go out to neutral ice. Finds its way all the way back to Hayden Peoples. Inside is Buki. Buki rips it towards the cage, goes wide. He's going to recollect his own shot. Shot towards the cage, batted down. Oh, Pandemonium with the goal! Mauser! Ben Maurer with the Mauser towards the cage. What a shot. Down in front. And yeah, with the way that some of that kid's shots have been going, I'm definitely dubbing him Mauser. A reliable goal there from him, and that's spurred on by Buki. The referee and linesman are talking this over to... after the no goal call from the referee linesman. The Leopards trying to work with that. Is there an energy shot towards the cage? Nice save by Lesko. Another nice save. Crossing over. He's saved by the new guy, O'Byrne. The freshman joining for the spring semester here and is going to go on the road with the Wolves. He gets his baptism by fire here against the Leopards here today. As Fergus goes behind the net, he's got options to the outside. Flips it over. Shot on through. And you see Conabier, he's like, oh, come on, let that shot go towards the net. Even if not for a goal, for a deflection off the pads, and maybe to someone like O'Byrne or a guy who gets out in front. Winter inside, finds Pilpel to O'Byrne. O'Byrne back to Pilpel on the outside of Winter. Winter rips it towards the cage, blocked. The Leopards nearly sprung. It's going to be collected by Pilpel. Pilpel trying to cross over, intercepted by the Leopards. They go back the other way. Splitting the gap, unable to get there. Conabier with a nice defensive save. The Golden Wolves have a 4-on-2 the other way. Shot towards the cage. Joey Mullen jumping at the bit for a goal here. Shot again. Nice shot by him. Garcia rips this one back in. Keeps it in play. Sent around behind the net. And you had O'Byrne waiting in case things got to the outside. O'Byrne from behind the net now, trying to swap the angle of attack to the other side. Leaves it. Chips it along the boards, collected. Vaughn Winter has to send it back in, and unfortunately it's repossessed by the Leopards. Only have temporary possession as now it's Jimmy Sparaccio going in. Outside it goes to Conabier, rips it towards the cage. Conabier is calling for it. He knows he had an angle. And play blown dead. And I guess the net came loose of its moorings. Sparaccio to center. He's got Garcia behind him. Sparaccio takes it himself, tries to cross over. Pandemonium, and Heron's able to make the save. Whistle blown dead. The Leopards trying to work through neutral ice. They get that puck a little bit too far of a pass, so it goes back to the Golden Wolves. A crossover there. Shot towards the cage. Deflected off the pads. That was Joey Mullen looking for a chance. Sparaccio ripped towards the cage there from the outside by Juswick. Sparaccio tried to bat it down, no dice. Icing is going to be the call here. We'll go back 200 feet for offense. The Golden Wolves with an opportunity to possess the puck in the offensive zone. That was shot towards the cage and blocked by a Leopard. It's Landon Sands. The big guy had his first goal against Rutgers, and what a beauty it was. I think the only guys I've gone crazier for when they've scored are John Bellantoni and then Jimmy Baker for Penn State Berks. Shot towards the cage. Nice save by Lesko. Face-off won by the Leopards. They're trying to go on offense here. Shot off of Lesko. They're trying out Pandemonium. Nice clearance there from inside. Unable to beat him out was Keith Waldron. Bellantoni tried to get it out. He pokes it away and redeems himself on defense there. Good by him. Bellantoni chips it along the boards to neutral ice. Chasing back was Torrey. Landon Sands waits in the way, and I don't know how that puck's not going to go off him. He's got an exceptionally long stick when it comes to that stuff. But also, how do you clear it past a guy that's as tall as him? Once again, obviously reminds me of Gavin Patterson from my days in 23-24 calling hockey. And Patterson, just such a fun guy always. The Golden Wolves are trying to chip it out. Nice save there defensively. I did go pretty bonkers on the TJ 2 goals in the 5-minute. Yeah. The 5-minute major, though. When are you ever going to see a defenseman score 2 goals on a 5-minute major from the blue line there? It's something I'd actually never seen before that point, as no icing here. They'll have to play it back 200 feet. I go pretty crazy for some of Reese's goals as well. I know that for a fact. He's got some good ones. Back on the blue line, kept in. A breakaway, the first one here for the Leopards. Let's go with a nice save. Came in clutch. Had a little bit of defensive help there from, speaking of Peoples on the ice. Speaking of Wilson there. Yeah, Peoples and Wilson. They're both equally as tall, so I'm always like, wait, is that 18 or is that 3? I wish I had a higher vantage point so I could see the numbers. Ripped the cage, nice save by Lesko. Cleared away, dangerous it is. Wide. And the marksmanship there from Lafayette, not up to par with Lesko's saving ability. Up in the netting, a stoppage and play and a reset. Buki trying to hunt down the puck to neutral ice. Instead, dump behind the net. And Conabeer's going to try to stretch that one across. Icing will be the call. 10:57 left in the second. The stream's private? Yeah. The original one is. So tell them to back in? I think there's a new one. Unless we just lost the second one as well, but I still have it on my end. Another icing, O'Byrne trying to beat it out. Yeah, no, you're all good. Well, the worst part is I don't really know what's going on. For me, it looks normal. Whoa. The camera just jumped. Try to chip it away. Lesko's gonna get the whistle. Wilson, that one chips up towards the glass. Clay come from behind the net, now trying to operate. They're trying to escape the defensive zone here. Leopards re-intercepting that one with 10 minutes left to go. Halfway through this game. It'll be up to Fergus to go down ice. Fergus without, we can almost call them twins sorts whenever they play. Without Ciccarelli today, Ciccarelli out for one game on a minor injury. They just want to be safe and all. Similarly, no Andrew Denny as Lesko makes another save. Down goes Fergus. He's going to be out icing, no problem. That's going to give him time to set up in the zone. Fergus chips it around, trying to work the cycle. Out in front to Juswick. Juswick loses the handle. He'll have to retreat to center ice and try to rework with Wilson. As mentioned before, I love some of Reese Wilson's goals. Back the other way. The Leopards rip one towards the cage. It's wide. Clay Combe from behind the net now. Go. Pinned up along the boards now. It's out to Peoples. Or Bellantoni, excuse me. What am I saying? Peoples. Peoples on the... And a nice snag. And Bellantoni unhappy. That one flies right by, and now Bellantoni in a foot race trying to get back to get the puck, able to win it out, and now Hayden Peoples is out on the ice. It was originally Reese Wilson out there. Crossing over to Sparaccio. Sparaccio unable to maintain possession. It's out. Re-entering the offensive zone now are the Leopards. Nice save there defensively from the Golden Wolves. Stretch pass over to Sparaccio. Right down Broad Street he goes. Rips it wide. Tried for a stuff attempt. And Heron's got that one. And just some extracurriculars now. Eight minutes left in this second period. Offensive zone draw for the Golden Wolves, headed by Mark Torrey at center. He's got Waldron to the other side of him. Bellantoni waits on the outside. And long delay the face-off to happen. Carpenter as well as Peoples. I remember Carpenter's first game, we were saying he played like the Hanson brothers, and he's only one of them. Torrey tries to get out in front, trying to chip it across. Net Lucevitz Moorings once again. Torrey rip it back to Bellantoni. Bellantoni rips it from the blue line and sends it right on in. Ideal play there for the Golden Wolves if they could make it work. Torrey has possession of the puck after reclaiming it. Shot towards the cage. It's loose out in front. The Leopards are going to try to clear. And with the player down, they're going to blow it dead again. And there have been more plays blown dead in this game than the NHL's had this year. And it certainly extends the game longer. And, you know, if you're like me, you love watching fast-paced hockey. There is fast moments, obviously, but with all the whistles and stuff, it eventually starts to bog down and slow down the play a little bit here. As you see Mark Torrey try to go back in, leaves it for Carpenter. Carpenter left that puck behind. He got poked right out from under him. Peoples to Bellantoni. Peoples goes back the other way. Carpenter trying to hunt the puck. And out come the Leopards the other way. Left it behind. Shot towards the cage. No. Not at all happening there. An offensive stop for the Golden Wolves. Buki is going to make his way back to the defensive zone and try to shot towards the cage. Whoa, you hurt some iron on that one. Around the boards it goes. Winter on the blue line, holds the puck, sends it on in, deflection. It's once again out. The Leopards are going to try to clear here. Conabier back the other way. Has the puck. He's going to work it back the other way, gets a pass along. Shot towards the cage. Just glances it off the pads and it goes wide. Here come the Leopards. O'Byrne on his debut gets the puck across. Shot towards the cage by Buki. Lost the handle there. Crossing in. No one home. Von Winter is going to go back and try to get a hold of this puck from the Leopards. Able to keep it in play. And finally clear it out through neutral. It should be icing, and yes, it will be, as the Golden Wolves had a 150-foot head start on that one, my lord. I'd love to have that type of a start in a track meet. $200 meters, give me the first 150. I'll do the last 50 on my own. Of course, this is in feet, not meters, but you get the point. As O'Byrne, Juswick, and Wilson stay out of the chaos. A couple of line changes here. And a quiet second period. You know, we had the 3 goals across the first. Obviously, we had the one really early on by Pilpel really in the period by Pilpel. But yeah, no action in the goal scoring department here. Shot towards the cage, high and wide. And that goes back the other way. They're going to trek back Pilpel. Around the boards and Aarons. As Fergus possesses, crosses in, tried for a deflection to Claycomb. It's Juswick, leaves it behind for Claycomb. Claycomb around the boards to Pilpel. Pilpel wants to get this puck out to somebody. No options home. Tried to center it out front. Fergus was waiting, just nothing open for him. And Wilson trekking back as they form a 4-man defense for the lone puck carrier. Shot towards the cage and in the back of the net. Activated Hickey, who didn't have a goal to this point. Here, though, today, him and Lightbody with the goals for the Leopards. And now the Golden Wolves see another marker to take the lead again. I mean, you're talking about a team with nothing to lose. They've only played one game all year. They got nothing to lose in regards to their season as of right now. Right? You're not going to make the playoffs. You might as well just play a frustrating game and try to win it out as that one goes wide. Much in comparison to a lot of the Golden Wolves' other opponents. I think you also have to factor in this team hasn't played in 2 months. Shot towards the cage and out of play. .350 left to go in the second period. Now we're a part of that goal that had gotten taken back. Crossing in, over, whoa, took a couple of, yeah, that's the back of the net. That's what you're looking for. And there's the celebration. Golden Wolves reclaim the lead. Not even a minute after the Leopards try to take it. And Mauser's gonna get his goal after all. Garcia to center. The Golden Wolves with the lead again with 3:44 left to go. The time of that tally, 16-16. I had to think about that. The math aspect is the one part of hockey that I've never been a fan of, having to do the math. As the Golden Wolves have to try to rework through center, they're going to use Bellantoni as the lead man. Bellantoni try to cross over, and two Leopards get mixed up in an entanglement. That's going to let the Golden Wolves operate in the offensive zone a little bit longer. Shot towards the cage. They want to extend this lead beyond one. Trying to form a defense as the Leopards come back the other way. Towards the cage they go. Sparaccio unable to clear it. Towards the cage, nice save by Lesko. Hits the leg, shot again, wide of the cage. The Leopards still in possession, trying to cross over here. And play blown dead. For a cross check. They'll have Garcia, or sorry, not Garcia. Who do they have set? Peoples? I guess they'll have People. Nope. Wait, what is even going on? Okay, Peoples apparently is sitting for a cross check. I didn't see anything warranting, but I guess the referees must have. Another penalty for the Golden Wolves to kill off. They killed off everyone, 3 so far today, that the Leopards have had on the power play. Trying for a shorthanded marker. The newly acquired O'Byrne. It'd be so cool if you could have trades in this league, but O'Byrne just a sort of free agent style pickup. Back his light body, who had the first goal. Sends it to his defenseman number 2, and they're unable to capitalize. Let's go with the nice save. That one caught along the blue line. The Golden Wolves had nowhere else to go with 4 men on the inside. Just a minute left in the penalty to Peoples. O'Byrne tries to go and get it. 1 minute left on that penalty, as we said before. 1:45 left in the period. Crosses over to DeTulio. DeTulio is a threat. DeTulio sends it back. Aaron pass nearly intercepted. Nice save by Lesko. O'Byrne wants to take it down ice. He just clears it. And with the puck and a half left to go, we're fastly approaching the end of this second period. The Leopards reeling back the other way, trying to go on for some offense. Chipped on through off a stick. They're in the offensive zone. Skimming that blue line there for a second. 1 minute left to go in this period. And falling down, that's going to let Reese Wilson just clear this one around the boards out to the blue line. We'll go no further. The Leopards take a shot towards the cage. Wide, it glances. And fans on the edge of their seats here as we go back to 5-on-5 play with 49 seconds left. What a save by Lesko! Gets over and robs him clean! I want to assume that Valente's the one in 14. I'm not sure, though. I didn't see a 14 on the roster when they played Bloomsburg. Lightbody takes his position at center with 43 seconds left. The Leopards trying to tie this up before all is said and done in the second period. The Golden Wolves hold on to a slim margin. Buki trying to make it a little bit further. Centers, leaves it behind, and intercepted. Kept in the zone, though. Shot off the foot of someone, and that's a hit. That's a bad hit. There's a call. That was Lightbody, the first goal scorer for the Leopards. Bellantoni took the hit. He's going to get checked out, and it looks pretty hard. They'll escort Lightbody to the box. 2 minutes for the hit. 25. Claycomb, Maurer, Wilson, Buki. And it looks like O'Byrne will take this one. With Bellantoni down, they'll keep him out of this power play line for the time being. From the bench, you saw him wincing in pain there for a couple of seconds. He looks fine now. 18 seconds left to go. When all is said and done, there'll be about 1:45 left for the power play in the Golden Wolves in the third period. Intercepted by the Leopards. It's a 2-on-1 the other way, not in favor of the Leopards in any way, shape, or form. Shot towards the cage, it goes wide, but 3 seconds left to go, and this period is over. Golden Wolves lead by 1, thanks to a Maurer goal from a Mauser-like shot. We'll catch you for the third period. Don't go anywhere. A tight game overall. The go-ahead goal brought to you by Ben Mauser. He had a Mauser of a shot to get it past Heron. Lafayette sold and making this easy for the Golden Wolves here today, despite only having 8 skaters, essentially. As Maurer, their most recent goal scorer, wins the faceoff from Claycomb. Bellantoni sends that one around the boards, and I want to say. Minute 25 left on that power play. There's a minute 34 coming into this period, but a minute 25 left on the power play. Golden Wolves need to operate outside of their own defensive zone here. That's where they've been caught in these time markers, is when they've been stuck in their own defensive area. And that puck taking a couple of bounces across about 5 or 6 sticks there. It's a 2-on-1, not in favor of Alvernia, trying to cross back over and intercepted by Maurer. Re-intercepted again, 2-6 time together to cancel it out. Back goes Bellantoni with speed. Bellantoni at 1,000,000 miles an hour, trying to go under a player there, no dice. And he gets leveled along the way there. This number 14 trying to lay out his own weight there, unable to do so effectively. Out to the blue line to Wilson. Wilson tried to go inside. Inside, he's able to temporarily find Buki. Buki recollects his own puck. Leaves it for Bellantoni. Bellantoni across to Wilson. Wilson inside, takes a shot, takes a block, and is cleared on out with 19 seconds left on the power play for the Golden Wolves. Bellantoni from behind his own net. Patient with the breakout here, not a rush. They don't want to allow another time marker so easily. Maurer in the offensive zone. He has to send it around the boards. And that one bounces loose. Could have sprung light body for his second goal of the day with a one-on-one Lesko. Unfortunately, they're not going to get that session. Here's the one-on-one, though, for Lesko, and Lesko denies all the way. Trying to deposit a puck. Your puck has been denied. Back goes Torrey. Torrey's got Waldron in tow. Waldron has to play lead man to try to get the puck back from the Leopards, and it's out in front, stuck. Heron able to get it. With 2.5 through here in the third period. Face off. Belongs to the Leopards. Possession does, as Fergus is trying to get it back. He's hounding them. And normally that's a Wolves job. Well, it's a good thing they're the Golden Wolves. That one shipped on to Bellantoni's opposite number 2. Oh, a nice stick deflection for Claycomb to keep it in. Just unable to repossess as Vaughn Winter, his turn to play the puck. Lafayette now attempting with light body unable to get a hold of it. They're going to start a breakout here, the Golden Wolves are. Headed by Fergus. Brennan Fergus, really would love to see that guy get a goal today, all the things he's been doing. We have Pilpel, who chips it along. Pilpel does have a goal here today, along with Bell and Tony. And we've been mentioning Mauer. Those are the three markers. The Wolves with 2 goals in that first period. Shot towards the cage. Water bottle pop. Brennan Fergus and Brian Pilpel out in front there. So Pilpel has 2 today. And that line's done some damage here, extending the lead from 1 to 2. Number 29 with his 2nd of the day. Ryan Pilpel channeling his inner TJ Oshie after the Caps game the other night. As the Golden Wolves force back, trying to escape their own offensive zone. Icing the call. And the cherry on top today would be a goal for O'Byrne. Rookie debut for this guy. I'm sure there are complaints as far as what he's done today. He's played a solid game himself. Spooky, unable to get there. That shot high and wide of the cage. Oh, what a hit. Trying to knock that puck loose. It's jammed up along the boards. Skids its way back in. Juswick crossing over, finds way to Buki. Buki loses the handle. Has to work his way back out, right out front, no dice. 15:45 left in this third period. Buki nearly had another opportunity to break back into the zone. It's a 4-on-2 the other way. All pandemonium in neutral ice as that puck's just getting knocked loose left and right. It's a pinball machine out there as O'Byrne goes in to try to retrieve and get it back for the Golden Wolves. O'Byrne, shot towards the cage. Heron grabs and stuffs that puck out. Face-off won by the Golden Wolves. Kept in on the blue line, kicked out at long last. Jimmy Sparaccio able to get it back to defenseman John Bellantoni. Mullen sends it on into the Leopards player, a blue liner of himself. Bellantoni's opposite blue liner. Turning on a dime. Tony does, trying to link up in neutral ice. Able to do just that. Sparaccio going right down Broad Street this time, unable to get on through. Takes it back for himself and gets stuck. Tony back to retrieve. That way again from the defensive zone. Linking up with Mullen. Mullen, bouncing puck goes towards number 2 for the defenseman of the Leopards. Shot towards the cage, nice save by Lesko. Intercepted, temporarily repossessed by the Leopards. Crossing over, whoa, dangerous, and the Leopards capitalize in. Good thing they took that 2-goal lead. Clark with the goal, coming in at 5:35. Face-off won there by Carpenter, who kind of ran right on in. Whoa, what a save for Lesko. We'll give another homage there to the movie Slapshot. If anyone remembers the Hanson brothers shot that almost went sky, that's what that reminds me of. Fortunately, instead it went to the cage of Lesko. Lesko able to snag it fine, though. Conabeer trying to retrieve from around net. Cleared on through, finds way to Carpenter. Carpenter trying to spring himself, unable to do so. Keeps the puck in the offensive zone and kind of chipped on out there. Back goes Lightbody. Lightbody wants a goal. Was trying to find DeTulio. DeTulio with possession for the Leopards. DeTulio, the blue line defenseman wearing number 20. On the fly, the Golden Wolves trying to make this work. Bodies out in front, trying to get to Lesko. Lesko holds that cage tight. It's all pandemonium. Nice hit, way to lay him out. Saw that right there. Intercepted. And Carpenter goes back to get. He's going to spring himself out. He's got Landon Sands trailing ahead. Landon Sands gives him room to move. Carpenter takes a hit. Landon Sands takes a hit. And I don't even know I didn't know what happened there, but we have a penalty, and it looks like the Leopards are going to sit. The Leopards will sit number 14. With the score at 4-3, Golden Wolves lead. Thanks to a Pilpel marker, his second a day. And they'll assess instead matching minors. Face-off won by the Leopards. Took a little bit for that music to cut off. As already 10 seconds through this power play, or not even power play, it's a 4-on-4, I guess. Me over here still thinking it was just one minor. No, it's actually two. Bellantoni around the boards to O'Byrne. O'Byrne links up with Buki. Buki entering the offensive zone. Chips it along, trying to find Juswick. Repossessed by the Leopards. The Leopards going back the other way. 1-on-1. 3-on-3. Shot towards the cage. Nice block. That was Bellantoni. Or sorry, that was O'Byrne. What am I saying? Buki waiting to get a link pass. He touches up, so no icing. And it's completely onside right now, so Buki's going to try to make this work. Crossing over. Finds O'Byrne. O'Byrne wants to drive it to the front of the net. No dice. And Bellantoni is out there. So yeah, it was Bellantoni. What am I saying? I was missing Bellantoni's number. Consider me blind. Buki the other way, trying to drive in, gets robbed.
Get rid of it.
And the trailing man of O'Byrne able to get a hold. And takes 2 hits and still stays up.
Got him.
I don't know how you take 2 hits like that and not feel a single thing. I see we have Stromy in the chat here. Stromy, how we doing? I hear there's a Penn State Berks game up at Widener after this contest is all said and done. They're going to sit another Alvernia player and another, oh no, just another Leopards player as they try to sort out whatever they're sorting out. So a 4-on-3 for 28 seconds, 4 minute 32. Timeout from the Golden Wolves. It'd be nice if they got another goal. Make this 5-3, as we've already seen how dangerous the Leopards are. Very similar to their first game for folks that maybe joined us late. Their first game was a 7-6 loss against the Bloomsburg Huskies. So the score seldom does not surprise me. As much as I'd love to see a score that stands somewhere like 21-2, because, you know, I'm a Golden Wolves fan. That's not the case, and this Lafayette group has done a good job with the few men that it has. And for all my folks on later, be sure to watch out for Justin Strom, who, while not the cousin, brother, or family member of Dylan Strom, still an amazing human being, amazing person. Watch out for his pictures from the Penn State Berks and the Weiner game, hoping Penn State Berks can pick up their first victory against the Weiner Pride. Would absolutely be overjoyed if that was the case. O'Byrne rips it towards the cage. O'Byrne iron on that one. Get it back to him and let him try again. O'Byrne rips it towards the cage. It goes wide behind the net. They're going to try to center this one out. Bell and Tony waiting. O'Byrne switching to the inside. O'Byrne rips it again. He gets it. No, they call it off. It hit another post. O'Byrne hitting iron. And on O'Byrne's debut, he's hit iron twice. What? We need to get O'Byrne a goal here. I mean, he's hit iron twice. Got to get him something. As this one goes back, cleared by Light Body. Back comes Reese Wilson. Wilson trying to find Maurer, and that one skids its way all the way back 200 feet though, and Tony's going to have to go and collect. 10:35 left to go, a minute left for the power play for the Golden Wolves. It's going to get Buki. Buki on a break. Buki rips it towards the cage. It's blocked off of Heron from going in, and he denies Buki's deposit. Juswick. Lesko's going to leave it behind for Juswick. Juswick out to Wilson. Wilson will start things for the Golden Wolves on the breakout. Crosses over. Finds Buki again. He's got O'Byrne waiting. O'Byrne trying to go to the inside. O'Byrne's going to have to collect this puck back up and get it out to someone. Unable to do so. Intercepted, and it'll be cleared. Maybe one final chance if the Golden Wolves can work fast on the power play. They might get one more here. Doesn't seem like that will be the case, as the Leopards are hounding them, but that's a call. Get Lesko to the bench, get the sixth attacker out. Looks like they're going to touch up right beforehand, and yep, another power play for the Golden Wolves though. And just when you thought that the Leopards were going to go back to an even strength situation, they go right back down a man. The O'Byrne line, which I assume is a little gassed, will change off to get Pilpel out there. Pilpel's on a hat trick watch for anyone wondering. He has 2 today. Just needs that last tally, and then we can try to throw a hat over the netting. I don't know why they installed this netting. It's very poor for hat tricks. Pilpel crosses to Sparaccio. Sparaccio. He's gone down Broad Street a couple of times, unable to go past Heron, though. He tries again from behind the net. He's going to have to center to someone. He gets jammed up on a hit. Trying to get it out to Mullen. No dice. Off of his own player, number 14. Taken down. They aren't going to call that one. Bolin able to get it out. He loses the puck, though. He's helped by the trailing Juswick. Juswick unable to keep possession long enough. Back go the Golden Wolves. Center to Bellantoni. Bellantoni onto the inside. Shot towards the cage. Unable to get there. Sparaccio trying to keep a hold.
Keep it in.
They're trying to keep it in and finally able to get it out. Are the Leopards. The Golden Wolves will work back the other way. Through neutral ice. You see Bellantoni come through. Bellantoni losing the puck. Trying to clear it out. The Leopards do just that. 7:47 left to go. Time working against the Leopards here, but they only have 13 seconds left to kill. The Golden Wolves need a goal. They know the Leopards are dangerous. Rip towards the cage. Oh, there's a back door open. Nothing there. Nearly in the cage. They're jamming, and it's a goal. Looks like. I'm going to skate Book there. Logan Buki back on the warpath with another goal. And we said one more point to 140. That's 140 career points for Buki. That's just another amazing milestone for that guy. 4 years in the league and he's got 140 points. And you can only imagine what it takes to get that kind of an average. Still a couple more games to go, so we'll see if he can get to 150 before all is said and done in the season. That one cleared on through. You see Torrey going back to get it. Torrey tried to jam it loose from a Leopards player, no dice. Ref's arm goes up for icing, drawn by Vaughn Winter, the defenseman, number 7. 7:08 left to go. Face off, won by the Golden Wolves. Shot to the net, protected there by Heron.
Okay, hold on.
Torrey at center. Torrey wins the face-off. They try to go back to the blue line. Conabier was unable to pick it up with Winter as well. Those two unable to pick it up. As back come the Leopards. Carpenter finds his way to Torrey. Torrey links up with Waldron. Waldron sends it back to Winter. Winter cuts past the player, tries to send it behind the net to someone. 3 Leopards in wait. And falling over, and I guess that's a hit. Carpenter catching a Leopards player falling down as Conabier catches the trailing puck. Sent back around to Tullio, unable to pick it up. Waldron was trying to get it from the jam, unable to do so. Stopped. You see Carpenter. Carpenter centered, trying to get it towards the cage, and it's flipped on up. Nice save from Heron. Heron was quick with the reaction. Conabier tried to flip it on in. Winter going in to collect the puck. 2-6 came together and canceled it out. It got to Torrey, though. Torrey takes a shot. Behind the net it goes. The Leopards need to clear badly here. Conabier says no and keeps it in. Trying to get it jammed out to a player. Looks like Torrey's the man waiting. Instead, DeTullio will get it to a Leopard of his own, and Winter will be forced to play it up. Winter, as Carpenter changes, entering the offensive zone, Winter is. Some gear on the ice. That one chipped over to the other side. Torrey, trying to center, left the puck behind, and really the Golden Wolves is being a frustration for the Leopards right now. The Leopards now trying to go on offense, crossing over. Nobody home. You see Fergus hounding upon a Leopards player right now. Fergus has the puck, chips it on out, doesn't get very far. The Leopards take a shot towards Lesko. Save by Reese Wilson there as the rebound came loose. You see Pilpel on hat trick watch. She's trying to go for a third. Goals from Bellantoni, Pilpel, Maurer. Shot towards the cage. Pilpel and Buki. And Maurer should have a second. That was unfortunately waved back off. Towards the cage, shot off of Heron. Collected by Wilson. Wilson back to Pilpel. Pilpel. Claycomb waits. Claycomb trying to find the puck, was unable to do so, and this one's gonna get cleared all the way back. No icing, it's a little bit too slow. Phil Juswick with 4 minutes left to go. Got it off the stick of Claycomb. Collected by Joey Mullen. Jumping Joey as Juswick took a shot towards the cage. You see Claycomb get spun around there. Keeps possession of the puck, though, was able to find a man trailing. Trying to go out in front. Sparaccio's on the ice. Sparaccio possession. Tries taking. Whoa! And they call it a no goal. I can't understand how. I believe the net came loose, but it's moorings. Sneaky for Sparaccio. A similar situation to what happened in Lehigh Valley.
That was the one.
Yeah. A similar situation to what happened in Lehigh Valley. The net came loose, and they put it in, and they waved it off. Otherwise, that would have been a Sparaccio celebration, and we could have done a right down Broad Street call. Instead, Aaron's going to freeze up another puck and get another faceoff coming his way. Did we lose sound, or can people still hear me? Zach goes back the other way for Bellantoni. Bellantoni on through, leaves it behind for the trailing Sparaccio. Sparaccio rips it on through. Oh, the rebound was there and the cage was open. Sparaccio just unable to pick it up in time. Garcia and Sparaccio trying to work for a jam loose. Puck is stuck along the boards. Behind the net. And back come the Leopards. The Leopards, though, being hounded all the way. You see Phil Juswick take possession of the puck. Back comes Maurer. Maurer trying to drive towards the cage. He goes across. The cross crease doesn't work. Buki has a goal today. Shot towards the cage. Pops loose from Heron. Heron unable to glove it correctly. O'Byrne on his debut. He hit iron a couple of times. Would love to see him hit some twine in the net. Centered out in front. The Leopards trying to clear now. O'Byrne making that a difficult task is Buki towards the net. Buki goes across, and it's Maurer. Maurer gets it in the back of the net. And that should be Maurer's second. Unless it was O'Byrne's, and actually, no, it was O'Byrne's. Debut goal for O'Byrne. What a day for this kid. Came on to Alvernia during the halfway mark of the season. Finally able to get his first start. Jumps off the bench, and in the third period, with a puck and a half left to go, scores one at the 18:26 mark, or 28, 18:28 mark of the third period. And that should just about do it there for the Leopards. What's left to be decided is who else can score for the goal. Waldron comes in. Waldron unable to finish. Crossing over to Sands. Sands waits. Goes back to Bellatoni. Bellatoni reps it. Behind the cage it is. Crossing over. Puck is loose. Pandemonium. Heron trying to reach for it with a minute left. Shot towards the cage again. Wide it goes. Bellatoni. Peoples has it. Excuse me, not Bellatoni. Torrey. Peoples operating from the blue line goes inside. Torrey was waiting on the inside there. Torrey has the puck now, though. Takes a shot. Oh, glances off the shoulder pad. Sands going around the boards to score 6-3. Pops some iron there, and somebody lost the stick. 22 seconds left to go here. 3-goal lead for the Golden Wolves. It goes back 200 feet. This should be icing. 15 seconds to go. Bellatoni running to the bench like Frank Sinatra in the rain. Conabier takes a shot towards the cage. Vaughn Winter collects after the high shot of Conabier's blocked. And back come the Leopards, but too little, too late. The buzzer sounds, the final score is 6-3, and the Golden Wolves win their first game of the 2026 half of the season. They'll advance to a record of 7-7, 14 points in the DBCHC American, and firmly maintain their first place spot. Our stars of the day, Brian Pilpel with his 2 goals. Got to hand out some credit to Ben Maurer, and then finally Tim O'Byrne on his first day gets his first career goal against Heron. The final marker of this game that makes it 6-3 and rewarding after the 2 posts. He hit iron all day, but he finally found the back of the net with 1 minute, 32 seconds left to go. And this kid's got to be feeling a high that no players feel except in these moments. Congratulate him and, of course, to his family, as this is definitely a milestone type day. From wherever you're watching, folks, thank you for tuning in with the Frozen Puck. Whoa. And remember, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and we will